We got the edgy lighting here today for obvious reasons. It is a creepypasta virus that we are investigating today. Now, I figured I'd do this just simply for the fact that I like to keep things in a sub-rotation, keep things sort of flowing, all that kind of stuff. And to be honest, I sort of started the series off on a creepypasta virus. As cringeworthy as that may sound, yes, a virus designed to spook. Today's virus won't exactly be the most over-the-top one we can find in the category, because I'd rather like to start small, get the little giggles out of the way, and just see how far we can get from the very beginnings of something. Now this one is called Mr. Smile. Yes, MRSMILE.EXE. It is a virus, a bit of malware carefully designed to spook its residents, alright? And the spook that it delivers is pretty rudimentary. We've seen it actually happen in high-profile games too, that have a lot of the EXE games are something that I've sort of played. And I think in terms of viruses, it would probably be less than something like the Ben investigation arc that I did a while back. How many of y'all remember that series of videos that I made where we looked at Ben Drowned, the set of files that were, it was a full-on Unity game, but it had the ability to manipulate your system as time went on. And eventually, I believe it manipulated your system so much that I would just argue to wipe your system off and start it fresh, because I didn't even know where it got its hooks into. This one is very, very similar to it. The file itself is about 120-something kilobytes, and that may not seem like much, and honestly it isn't, but for launching a couple payloads, and maybe tossing a little photo file here and there, it's more than enough. Remember, CIH itself was fairly small too. In fact, a lot of these destructive viruses are small. Code is not that big, if you think about it. The only reason file sizes can be huge, and if you're looking at them from in terms of something different, yeah, it makes sense. When you look at something like a video game, remember one thing: if a video game's like 50 gigs, a very small percentage of that is actually going to be code. The rest of it's going to be visual assets or sound or all that kind of stuff. That stuff takes a lot of file data, data size, right? Data capacity. And in this, we're just looking at code, so it's nothing too out of the ordinary. Now, running this under things like Windows Defender or any type of AV engine, I actually wasn't able to really catch much that didn't seem like false positives to me. So for me, it seems like a piece of malware that is a little... I'll save it for the end, okay? When I put it through the AV engines, nothing out of it screamed, "Don't run this," or when it did scream out, a lot of it did seem like, of course, false positives. So I figured if we're going to look into this, let's go right into analyzing this. So I set up a Windows 10 virtual machine, and on top of that I have a Windows Vista virtual machine that I've set up too, because, I don't know, fuck it, I felt like it. And Windows Vista, when you want it to get a virus, suddenly seems to not get a virus, so I wanted to check my luck. So let's go in and see what this can deliver. Alright, so we got a Windows 10 virtual machine over here, ladies and gentlemen. I keep Windows 10 pretty much my standard average because Windows 10 is actually really fucking great, so that's all there is to it, man. I gotta say, I'm impressed with this, man, especially after the last bombshell we had. But this one is MrSmile.exe, of course, as you know, so I'm gonna actually extract the sample out over here. Now, I don't know exactly how loud this is. I'm going to make sure the ear destructiveness on these headphones go down. I mean, they're great and everything, but man, if you set them above 5, be ready to have your ears destroyed. But let me go into Mr. Smile. This was created by blankety blank 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 blank. Alright, so I guess you can fit it in all you want. Okay, so I don't know. I'll just write in Dora made this. Can I change it? Can I change it? Created by Diego Rescue Squad, dude. I watched one episode of that as a kid, and I thought I watched too many episodes. Let's go to Mr. Smile. Now, the image on over here, if you can go into the properties real quick, you can actually see that it was, what is it compatible? Does it have any details? Yes. Copyrighted by, I don't know, product name is Hugs, and its application version 1.0. And it's pretty language neutral. Now, one thing to note over here is that it has the profile picture of Samara from The Ring. Have you ever watched the movie Ring? It's basically it's a remake, I think, in America, of the Japanese movie Ringu. So who's Samara? She's some crazy bitch. But I'm gonna hit OK and start this off. Now the first thing it's telling me is to run. Select Mr. Smile. Now in this case, I'm actually gonna open up Task Manager real quick. And at least we can, it's a 32-bit application, by the way, but at least over here we can start to see what's exactly active. Now over here we have 3 active processes. One of them is the console window host and command processor, but it's taking up about 7.2 megs of RAM and absolutely no CPU processing power. So first things first, I'm actually going to kill this off real quick, and eventually it should begin to change certain things. So we're going to go around and just sort of see what's changed around on the desktop. This is a clean install of Windows 10. Nothing really has changed or done anything to begin with. So I'm just going to do what I have to. I'm going to go look around downloads, nothing. Music, nothing. Pictures, nothing. Videos, nothing. Desktop, well, the files that are always there. 3D object, nothing. I'm going to go to local C, and nothing has shown up in my C directory at all, which would kind of surprise me, because I'm pretty sure to get into C directory you'd need to give it like administrative privileges, right? So yeah, nothing's really changed, but hopefully we'll be able to find something else to begin with. I guess I'm going to try running it as administrator real quick and seeing if that changes anything. Oh, it's administrator now. All right, meaning that it actually can do a lot of changes to the computer if it wants to. No, nothing has changed over here. I'm kind of worried if this is going to release it. Oh, it quit, dude! Dude, it quit. Okay, wait, that moved positions. What the fuck? Alright, okay, nothing is changing. Nothing in the background is happening. It quit on its own. You saw that shit. Here, I keep trying to run it. Nothing's happening. No, nothing's happening. Hold on. Enter? Run? What if I... Oh, no. As soon as I hit R, it just died. Ah! Wait, if I had anything on the keyboard, it dies. That's crazy. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is maybe try rebooting the computer. I think that might make any sense. Give me a second. Let's go through a quick reset. Okay, the hypervisor is loading up again. There's nothing connected to it. So here it is. Windows 10 is finally firing back up again. And hopefully at this point we should start to see some actual changes happening to the system. So, I mean, hey, let's hope for the best, man. I don't know if the payload triggers. Maybe I'm on a I don't know. We'll have to find out, man. So, it's starting up. The system is notably slower. Okay, boy is loading into the system. We should be seeing something hopefully now. Nothing has happened. All right. So, excuse me? What's going on? I don't think anything's happening, man. I mean, maybe it's because I have Windows Defender running or something? Let's go to Task Manager. Okay, Task Manager fired up automatically. But that's probably because it's in it's probably reloading in what I'd left off with, right? So nothing actually showing up weird out of the ordinary, which is freaky. I would expect something to happen right now. Stop right there, criminal scum. Let me tell you, what do you think must have happened, ladies and gentlemen? The only reason I'm not progressing with it is because I also don't want to waste any further time. Now, it took me about 2.5 hours to actually get a payload response from this virus. Basically, the extent of what you saw was that I was running this, and it was basically opening up a command shell, and it was saying run. And looking into the task manager, nothing was really showcasing. Every time I pressed anything on my keyboard, the program would commence to kill itself. So I don't know. Maybe I was supposed to get some response, but I didn't really feel it. So I who the fuck knows? But what I found out is that the only reason I really wasn't getting any type of payload, and the only reason this wasn't being picked up on any modern search engines, or not search engine, but AV engines, was due to the fact that, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at a virus that is literally a batch script. Yes, you remember the DOSing virus investigation, where we made a DOSing tool by basically creating a ping batch file that would just repeat over and over and over again and deliver malformed packets? Yeah, this is literally that. So the actual payload delivery happened about 2-3 hours something later after that. At that point I left the VM running, I isolated even further, I made some food, played some Kingdom Hearts, and then I came back, and voila, what do you know, I got icons all over my screens of skulls and radio boxes that would tell me, Muda, don't delete this, don't do anything about it. And the most important part of this, well, at least the most interesting part, was that on my C directory was a Python file. And for me, that was a little weird, but then I remembered in the investigation that I did, I actually ran it in administrator mode. So I gave it administrator privileges, and it was able to store something in the C directory, which, to my knowledge, on modern versions of Windows is improbable, because the C directory is treated as an administration hub, and you really can't write to it if you don't have the permissions for it, as far as I recall. Maybe the root is a little different, or maybe program files, whatever, but to my knowledge, that's how it works. Now, moving on a little further into this, did I expect this to be any worse than it was? No. I knew for a fact this was pretty much a batch command, especially when the command shell opened up. It was disguised as a little program, but it was nothing more than a mere batch script. See, when you play a video game where it showcases your name, right? Like when I was playing OK Normal, it showcased my name. That's often a very clever trick where the program will look into user data and basically your user settings on your computer and say that's the account name, that must be the name of the person. So if your computer user account name was like Big Boner, it would say hello Big Boner, the game. It's nothing special. So the tricks that would be pulled on this are actually very similar to common games used nowadays. I mean, play Pony Island, play any of these fourth wall breaking games, they'll do the exact same shit. I mean, they won't turn your background black or destroy a your pristine desktop condition, but relatively similar things will occur. So nothing special over here happened that wasn't really available from Windows in the first place. So ladies and gentlemen, this is all I have for the Mr. Smile. After this, I've got 2 viruses. We'll look at them much later. I got a rotation of what I want to do that are actually genuinely unnerving. Sound, visuals, everything, man. It seems like something out of Welcome to the Game, right? But let me know what you think about it. This is me, Mutahar. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it or dislike it. Tell me how terrible the edgy lighting was. I am out.